Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to jump on here and get you some quick information. I know we're transitioning from our workouts that we had this week. That we started off well. Everybody's doing great. Freshmen are coming along. Upperclassmen are doing great. Seeing some great leadership, and we're working hard. So we've had a really good first week of weights and conditioning, and now we're going to transition into our camp. So I wanted to get you guys some information here so that you have it before the weekend and can make all the necessary plans. So next week we are transitioning into football camp. It is our first camp of the summer. It's going to be all week long, Monday through Friday, and it's going to be earlier in the morning now for during camp. So for Monday through Friday, this next week, we are going to go from 6 a.m. till 8:30, Monday through Friday next week. And that will be football camp, so it is football practice. The attire for that is going to be all sophomores through seniors will be in shells, what we call shells. It's helmets, shoulder pads, and camp gear underneath. Girdle, must have your girdle, okay? Everybody, even freshmen next week, will be in girdle. You need your girdle underneath your shorts, okay? So, and that is that you guys, I did not hand out girdles. That is for you guys to purchase. I know they were on the store, and if you missed the store, you can get a girdle at any Dick's or Academy Sports. It's going to have hip pads. It's a compression short. It's a compression undershort that has hip pads and thigh pads in it. Hip pads, butt pad, and thigh pads built into it. And they have many different versions of it. It doesn't matter which one you get. Just make sure it's padded and it can protect your son. So everybody will need a girdle by Monday. Okay, we cannot practice without a girdle on. So everybody wears their girdle under their camp gear. So we have our camp shorts, our camp compression shirt. Upperclassmen, sophomore through senior, will be wearing shoulder pads and their practice jerseys and helmets. If you have your own mouthpiece, then you need to bring your mouthpiece too. So make sure you have that. Freshmen's attire, at least to start next week, is going to be helmets only. So they will wear their camp shorts, continue to wear that white t-shirt with your name on it, okay? And freshmen will be in their t-shirt, camp shorts, and helmet only, at least for the first 2 days, okay? So, and that could change throughout the week. So then as we get to the middle of the week, we may progress the freshmen into shells as well. But freshmen will start in a little bit different of a attire next week, okay? So please note that. Obviously, cleats are going to be needed, and anything that you need for a football practice, you are going to want to have there. So we're camping from Monday through Friday, 6 to 8. Weight room, or the locker room, will open because everything is kept in the locker room at 5:40. The locker room will be open. So make sure you're there early. Don't show up at 6 and think you're gonna be able to get to the locker room and get up to the field on time. We are actually starting first whistle at 6 a.m. So we will start our warm-ups at 6. So whatever it takes you to be ready and up to the football field. So they will get, if you're dropping them off, parents, you drop them off so they can get to the locker room on the back doors. The back doors will be unlocked. So you pull around the back of the building there, and you can just drop them off, or you can drop them off in the side parking lot, what we call the junior parking lot of the school, and they can walk across the practice field through the bottom doors there that will be unlocked so they can get into the locker room, get their stuff, and get up to the field so that they're ready. So, give yourself some time in order to do that. The locker room will be open at 5:40, okay? And getting in there, getting your stuff, getting out of there, 20 minutes is plenty of time. And then once practice is over, all stuff will go back to the locker room. So their helmets, and if you're upperclassmen, shoulder pads, everything will be stored in your locker, not in a car, okay? It's expensive equipment, and it shouldn't be sitting in a hot car anyway. A lot of these helmets, it's not good for the padding of the helmets to be sitting in a hot car. So it will be kept in the locker room. And so every day after practice, they go down there. When you want to wash your practice jersey, which at least once a week, it needs to be washed. Most guys can make it through a week and then it gets washed. I like to used to clean mine more than that, but you need to bring it with you. You bring it home and wash it and then bring it back. So when it needs to be washed, you take it off your shoulder pads, bring it back. Don't leave it in there for more than a week unwashed. It's gross. Nobody likes it, and it's not sanitary. So please, if you don't see your son's practice jersey for more than a week, tell them they need to bring it home. Next Tuesday, there will be no 7-on-7. We will camp in the morning. We'll have our Tuesday morning practice, and there will be no 7-on-7. If you have your own mouthpiece, bring it. I've already said it. Please, if you could, make sure you pay your camp fees, and I will attach the link to pay those in this description of this video, and I think Cheryl will send it out as well. But please pay your fees by Monday. If you can't, if there's an issue with being able to pay them, or if there's any type of issue, just let me know. Just have a conversation with me, or shoot me an email or a text. It'll be confidential, and we'll figure it out. So, but please, everybody, I think there's 16 people have paid their camp fees so far, and what those camp fees do is takes care of a lot of things that we pay for. That we provide for your sons, like equipment, jerseys, different things that we do that we need in order to get your sons what they need on the football field. That's what we use that money for. So we don't go through and ask you for a whole bunch of fundraisers. We just ask that you pay your camp fees, and that covers you from the football side of it for the whole year. So please pay those. We have 16 in there right now. We've ordered a lot of things. We've got a lot of growth to the football team. So, that we've got to be able to pay the bills on those. So, please get in there and get those paid. I will attach that link to this video in the description box. So you'll be able to click it and just get on there, make sure your son signed up, and have that done by Monday, please. So one other thing next week that will be different. It was on the schedule. I don't think it's on the updated schedule, but it's in the afternoon. I'm going to open the weight room for the varsity guys. So I know some of these guys work, and that's fine. It's not a mandatory thing, but we're going to 3 days next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We're going to open that weight room at 3:30, and we're going to be in there getting after it for about an hour. For those guys, for the varsity guys. And once again, if you can't drive, carpool. Make sure your son is talking to people so that you're not having to go back and forth to school. I know there's other sports too. So, once again, as long as your son communicates with me, if we've got basketball, I know we've got basketball players on the team that are doing things too, and wrestlers and baseball players. So just communicate with me. It's an open weight room. Coach T will have workouts built for these guys. Monday is going to be upper, Tuesday is going to be lower, and then Wednesday is going to be an explosive workout for us. So we'll keep them around those guidelines, but they will be doing it on their own. It's not going to be anything where we're going to be lifting and running. We're going to condition during practice, like we've talked about all week with all these young men. So, it's going to be an open weight room for those varsity guys to get in there and get better. So that will be at 3:30. It should be an hour, 3:30 to 4:30, no longer. It shouldn't take them any longer than an hour. So for those varsity guys, 3:30 to 4:30 in that weight room, open weight room. Once again, not mandatory, but if you're not working, if you're not playing other sports, we should be there and trying to get better here so we don't lose our strength through this process, because we've changed how we practice. We're platoon, and we're not lifting within the practice like we've done in the past. So please note that. Once again, freshmen and some of you underclassmen that aren't quite varsity, it's not mandatory to be there, because I know it's difficult to get back and forth, and I don't want to cause any more havoc than we already do by getting up early and doing all the things and everything that you guys sacrifice as parents for your kids, which doesn't go unnoticed and is appreciated. And if your sons don't show it, hopefully we're going to teach them to show that appreciation. So that will be football for next week. I want to give you equipment update. So equipment and camp gear update. So first we'll start with the Axiom helmets, the second order. We got part of the second order in just the other day, and we handed those Axiom helmets out. So those of you that are on that Axiom list that have ordered, there's part of that second order is not in yet, and it will be in. I talked to our rep today, and he thinks they're close. They were just waiting on a couple of parts to finish up those helmets. So he thinks they're close, so we should have those soon. So just know that your helmet's been ordered and it is in the process of being here, and it should be here soon. If it's not here by the end of this camp, it will 100% be here. I say 100%, but sometimes these days it's tough to say that, but he's promised me there's no question it will be here by the time we get going again in July with our next football side of this. So that's the Axiom helmets. Camp shorts, I know everybody from the second camp order. So I know some of us were new here. Some of us weren't on the communications early. So there was, some confusion. So if you were at the parent meeting, we talked about this. Some people weren't. That's okay. We're going to get through it and figure it out, and everybody's going to get their camp gear. It's not going to be an issue, but there was 2 order forms for camp gear. The very first one was the free. It was the one where you go on there, and I stayed in the meeting, and that, hey, you're going to go in and order 1 shirt and 1 short, and that was the free camp gear, and that's what we pay for. The team pays for everybody to have a shirt and a short camp gear. That's nothing that you pay for. So everybody got 1 free shirt and 1 free short. And then the second camp gear order opened up was for you parents that wanted extra camp gear so that we weren't having to wash the camp gear every single night, so that they have it, because we wear it every day in the summer. And a lot of you took advantage of the second camp gear order and got your stuff. So on that second order, there was no shorts. Nobody got any shorts on the second order. So those were back ordered. He told me after we handed them out, those are back ordered. And he said they should be here by the end of this week. I haven't seen them yet. So those are coming in soon. So the shorts that go with that second camp gear order will be in soon. I think there seems to be that we need to open another camp gear store. So he is going to open that up, but we'll open it, we'll close it relatively quickly here, and then there will be some lead time to get that stuff. So we may not have that until we get going again in July, but you will have it if you want to order that. So just be looking on that. So, and then the one other thing with that second camp gear order, they sent it to a different printer. They didn't print on the back of it, the saying on the back of it, and the size is different, the fitting's different. So we're working on a solution for that. So I don't know I haven't gotten an answer yet. We've been sending them the information they need. So I'm waiting to hear back on what the answer is what they're gonna do. I don't know if they're gonna say, okay, hey, we're just gonna replace all the compression shirts. Obviously they can't take those back because they're printed on for us. So we may get some extra gear out of it. I don't know what the solution is gonna be, but we are working on that too. So we know that there is an issue there. The last thing, before I let you all go here, I wanted to talk about Cheryl is going to send out some information on the Steubenville Conference. It's a great opportunity. Lindsay Young, who is part of our campus ministry team, sent me all this and asked me last week to push this onto the football players. And I looked at it, looked at all the information, looked at the videos. It's a great opportunity for all of our young men. And one thing that we do here at St. Pius that's really, really special, it's really important to me, it's important to the administration, it's important to the foundation of St. Pius and what we do. The number one thing we're focused on here is getting your son to heaven, right? And giving him the tools that he needs to get to heaven and putting him on that path. And everybody does it in their own time, in their own way, but we try to put them in situations where they can grow in their faith. And it's a definite need in our society, even in our pious community, but especially outside of it. So we try to introduce these young men to the faith aspect of what we do. And there's nothing, football, and when you're around all these friends and all these guys, it could be a great influence. It could be a bad influence and it could be a great influence. We want it to be a great influence. So I've got some great information here. Cheryl's going to share it on the Steubenville Conference, and it's a great opportunity where a whole bunch of schools and a whole bunch of teenagers from all over, from many different states, come together in Springfield, and they go to a conference, and it's a special event. I've never attended, but I am going to attend. I can't attend this year, but it's something that after I'm reading on it and looking into it, something that I want to attend. But it's a great opportunity to come together with a bunch of Christians and learn and grow in your faith. And it's something that I really want to push on our guys. So I'm asking you parents, we're going to send you the information, and I know some parents will say, not give your son a choice, say, hey, you're going. I know that's how I grew up, but I didn't have a choice. It was, hey, this is what you're doing. Okay. But I would urge you guys, push your sons to do this. There's limited spots available. There's not many left. I think there's 25 or 30 spots left. If we get more, we're going to figure that out. There is a fee with it. So notice when you get this information, there is a fee to attend this conference. If there are people that have financial need, we can figure that out. Like Lindsay told me that there is assistance available. So we can figure it out. If you want your son to attend, if your son wants to attend, we will figure it out. So just a great opportunity. So please look at that information. I'm really going to push our leaders to do it. So the guys that want to be leaders on our team, it's important to me that the leaders on our team are at least trying to grow on their faith journey. And it's going to be a big thing for us this year. And I think we've picked 2 captains so far, and we've got 2 great captains that have selected, and the other ones will be picked here in the near future. But I think it's something that if you want to be a leader on this team, this is something you should attend. And it's a great opportunity. It's a weekend. Yes, it's a weekend away, but it looks like it's a lot of fun, and it's just a fantastic opportunity. So please look at that information. If you have questions on it, Lindsay Young should be getting back in town tomorrow, so she will be responsive to emails if you send them. And she can help you and guide you in any way with what you need if you have questions on that. So please look at that information. And we take it very serious. We are going to go on a team retreat in July. We'll have details on that too coming up soon. I know Cheryl has updated the schedule and everything on that, but this is something like that could be a great starting point for us, because once we get to that team retreat in July, it's a special time. We don't do anything football. The whole thing is us coming together as a team and trying to grow in our faith as a team. And at the end of the day, it's going to make us a stronger team. It's going to make us better people. And anytime we get closer to God and accept Jesus as our Savior, it's a great thing. And so it's something that we're really going to push. So please read that info, and if you have questions, Lindsay can answer them for you, and Cheryl, all her information will be shared in that email or in that remind, or not. I'm sorry, it's not remind. It's a different app now, Team app. So. Thank you for your time. One thing I do want to let you know is make sure your sons, we've been preaching to them, they need to be on Huddle. I have stopped sending out messages on Remind. I'm now doing it through Huddle. So that transition has happened. So that there's no Remind for them, it's Huddle. So when I message your son, it's going to be through Huddle. So they need to have their Huddle notifications turned on. They know how to do it. All you have to do is tell them, they'll figure that out. But they have to have their notifications on. We've been preaching to them. That's how we're going to communicate from the coaching staff to the players, is through Huddle. And for you guys, parents, please make sure you guys are on Team app, and please have your notifications on. Cheryl does a great job of not over notifying you. So please have your notifications on, because when she does send something out, it is important. And there's going to be times when more things are sent out, and then there's times when things aren't sent out. So please turn your notifications on for the Team app. That will help us communicate and making sure everybody's on the same page, because we do a lot of great things, and this is just the beginning of some of the things that we're going to do throughout the summer and even before school starts. So excited about getting going Monday. Really looking forward to it. Once again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. If you have any questions with anything else, Cheryl is great. She can help you with just about everything. Sorry this ended up being 20 minutes, but I think there's some good info here. So looking forward to seeing everybody Monday, and go Warriors.